Hey creative people, today we are gonna paint a male portrait in watercolor. So grab your pencil and your palette and draw along with me. Last year I dropped a few of these kind of videos with animals, figure drawings and female portrait in 15 minutes. Today we are gonna make a male portrait in 20 minutes. Not including a few minutes sketch and of course the drying time. I'm gonna use this Bao Hong Pad Hot Press Academy. And let's start. So when it comes to portraiting, I like using the Loomis method. You can find several videos here on YouTube. Also, my favorite was Proco channel. The reference I'm using is from unsplash.com. I link it in the description. I'm not bothering myself too much with the likeness of the portrait. I just want to sketch in a short period of time. This is a nice exercise to push you to draw quickly, to find the main outlines, and of course to use watercolors in a more intuitive way and activate as well some of the effects that you wouldn't activate otherwise. Of course, this is also helpful when you don't have time, so you don't have excuses, because in the evening or in the break you can just spend 20 minutes practicing portraits or whatever you want to do. For the basic skin tones, I'm mixing cadmium red light and lemon and a bit of orange from my watercolor palette, White Nights. All the materials are linked in the description below. What I'm focusing here is starting from the darker values, and then with a cleaner brush I try to extend it to the lighter values in the face. If I see a particular difference in the color or tonal value in one particular area of the painting, I add a bit more red or a bit more lemon depending on what I want to achieve. And I already set the basis for the shadows. But I'm gonna enhance the shadows later once the first layer is dried. About brushes I'm using, it's a floral set from Artify. They sent me a few weeks ago to test, and I have to admit they surprised me a lot. They are synthetic brushes plus a mop squirrel brush that I will use later. They are quite versatile and I like them. These are the round brushes. For the cap I'm using now Blue Lake from White Nights. It's a blue that I particularly like. Very bright and vivid. After mixing Blue Lake with the sepia and a bit of Payne's Gray, I'm using the squirrel mop brush I mentioned before, defining the main line of the guy's shirt to get a strong contrast between the skin and the rest of the drawing. I try to use these brush strokes intuitively in order to get a little bit of movement in the painting. All the painting process so far was wet on dry. Indeed, if you don't have enough time, this is the quicker solution to paint. But I'm adding some small details wet on wet, like now, to get some darker tones with much more thick painting. To get the shadow of the cap on the forehead, I'm using now the same Blue Lake and sepia mixture. It's important to mix the same colors in different areas of the painting to avoid a blocky effect. And in terms of blocky approach, I try to merge the bigger areas I can use of the same color. So in this case I'm gonna connect the forehead shadow to the beard of the man. And the same color mix I'm using also for the shadows of the eyebrows and the nose. The risk to use this kind of colors on the skin is to get a muddy effect. This is also my case, but you need to be quite clean in this case if you want to avoid it. With a much brighter cadmium red light and mixing it with a bit of sepia, I'm doing the lips and the neck area. But then I actually realized it was a little bit too bright, and so I'm cleaning and lifting it with the brush. Another mistake here with the eyebrow, so I need to dry it up and wait it. While the eyebrow is drying, I can go on details on the eye and the pupil. I used Payne's Gray here with a mix of sepia. And after painting the base of the beard, I can go on single hairs to get some more details. All in all, it took me less than 20 minutes for the painting process. And after adding small details, this is the final result. And what other kind of subject would you like to see in these short painting tutorials? Tell me in the comment. If you enjoyed this male portrait, then you need to watch this 15 minutes female portrait. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so far. I thank you for watching till now, and I see you in the next video. Bye guys!